Hey, this is going to be a bunch of example solves on clock. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do each solve, then re-scramble and talk through the solve. Make sure I'm in frame. So I did something quite weird here actually. So the scramble has this lucky case here, these two, and then these here. So when I have these two matching clocks here, what I like to do is have them either here or here, because then I can do the first turn of the Pokemon order to create a three block. I guess that works. As you can see, without doing some kind of funny rotation, there's no way to utilize both of these at once. But I noticed that this pin is already perfectly set up to create this block here. So what I did was I put it here, and then did the mirror of the Pokemon order. So I'd start with this one, and then move to here, and then move to here, and then finish the face. And that means that I can do a Y2 and catch these two in one move as well. So the execution went something like this. So this was a very mediocre kind of solve. Basically I went for whatever caused the least damage because it's not a great scramble. There's lots of gaps here, lots of big turns that need to be done at some point. So what I did was just started from the regular 12 pointing up situation, because it meant the first two moves, the 3 clockwise to here and 4 anti-clockwise to here, were fairly straightforward. That's another point actually, you should be working the first two moves out in inspection, because the first move in the Pokemon order takes this one up to here, and then the relative spacing between this clock and this clock gives you your second move. So from this I can tell the first move is going to be +3, and because this is at 9 and this is at 5, I can tell the next move is going to be at -4. So the execution went something like this. This fit together quite nicely. This was the worst move of all 6. Skipped corner there, so I'm going to go straight to this one. Again, no lucky cases on this solve, so I was just minimising damage. What did I go for? Yeah, I went for this in the end. So 12 pointing down, because it meant the first moves were -3, -2, which is fairly easy to do. It meant that when I flipped over, at least one of the first two moves was going to be a 1. So the execution went like okay. Okay, so this solve had two lucky cases, these two here, and these two here. Again, lined up so that a y2 won't. You can't do a y2 in such a and have both lucky cases here and here. One has to be in one of those two positions. So what I did this time was let this one take precedence, but I was going to put it on the back because there are 3 pins up this side, and you don't want to be doing lots of pin adjustment for starting the solve. So what I did was start it here, so then I could go straight into the solve. And I knew the first 2 moves would only be -2s, which are fairly quick to execute. So and I knew that I was rolling into a 1 on this side to make that block. I didn't really like this scramble much because it made me choose between things I don't like to do when solving. So this is the first scramble that's had this lucky case where the centre matches one of the edges. And what I like to do with this is either leave it here and then start here to continue straight into the Potman order, so you miss out the first D turn, and losing one of the D turns is obviously a good thing because they're a bit of a pain to execute. Or what I'll do is I'll put it here and then do an x2, so that and then I'll do the first face as normal, and then do an x2. And because of the way the Potman pin order works, this pin is automatically up, so it means you can start straight with this turn. But doing the x2 meant that I had to adjust to, well, to start I needed to do this, which isn't fun. But starting from here meant that I was rotating into a 6 move here. So in the end I decided to start here and then do the pin adjustment like that. And then rotate. Okay, so this was a fairly nice scramble. I didn't do it as perhaps I could have seen a better solution, and I'll talk through that because it'll obviously be more useful. So the scramble has this lucky case and this on the back, but this lucky case is far nicer because the pin's already up here. So what I can do is just do that and make this block here, and then rotate into this 4, -4, +4. Not the best moves, but not the worst either. So what I should have done in this first face is I did the 6 to there and then added that one. I did it the other way around, which was a little bit slow. Then I flipped into this. One thing you should notice is that when you're doing this final adjustment, these bottom corners don't move, so you can track your first corner clock essentially. And it's just a bit of a look ahead really to help you get faster. So I had a few hang-ups on execution there, which is why time isn't so great. But the Scramble has this lucky case again, and what I did was I started with it there, and then rotated into this nice one move here, rather than whatever that was. So my first face looks something like this. And then see what I mean about the bottom ones don't move, so you can work out this first move before you do it. So this Scramble didn't have any lucky cases, but it had this little group here, which are near enough solved. So what I like to do with those is try and place them here, because it makes the first two moves really easy. But as you can see, all the pins, except for the one I need to turn, are up on this face. So I'm going to start, do a Y2, and then do it from here. And this face is kind of alright, so this is what I did. And Y2 into 1-1. Nasty corners on that one. Lots of sixes, which is why it was another 8. Okay, so this was a lovely Scramble. Has this whole bar along here. And what I did was I moved it to here. I think I did, no, I did it the other way around. Did it here. Because these ones are already pointed towards 12. So what I'd do for my first move is do this, and then do everything on here without affecting this one. Then when I've made this block, I can just adjust it to 12 and carry on. And I did it this way around, rather than this way around, and not having to pin adjust, because then the first move on the back face was going to be a 6, and they're just not fun. So I did that from here, and I did 1, Y2, 2, -1, and easy corners. No final adjustment as well, so good time. Well, at least it was sub 10. So this had this lucky case, which I started from here. I don't think I mentioned that actually, but I've been doing it throughout the average anyway. If I'm starting from the top, I'll start either from this one or the other one, rather than just that one, depending on the pin arrangement, etc. Probably been a much better idea to start from here, but there's a pin adjustment involved, because these two are kind of close together, so it meant I'd got something like that, and flip, and then I locked up here, which is why my time was so bad. So lots of big moves. Cool. So all the pins were down on this face, so I knew I was going to start here somewhere, so I just had to find a nice arrangement. Not remember which one I went for. There's nothing lucky, so I think in retrospect I go for this one. It's got two fairly easy moves on a Y2, and these two are close together, so then that means that after the first move. But in retrospect, that's a bad decision because now means I have to do a 6 to correct that. Yeah. So, no lucky cases on this one. It has this kind of close group again, so I just decided to go with that because there was nothing really stand out on this face. And I did the weird mirror pin order again because these two are close, so I don't want to disturb that. So I did that, that, and that. And there we go. I'm probably going to record another one for speed soon, so you'll see some kind of sub 8 average in the future. I hope this was useful, and if you need anything clarifying, just give me a shout, and I'll try and explain it in a bit more detail. Thanks.